Jack earns £52,000. What is Jack's income tax liability considering the tax-free allowance of £12,570, the basic rate tax of 20%, and the higher rate tax of 40% applied on all income above £50,270? Right, okay. So this is a question about tax. So what we need to do is we need to work out how much of this £52,000 is being taxed at each amount. So what I'm first of all going to do is I'm going to tackle the 40% at the stuff above the £50,270. So £52,000 minus 50,270. So we're going to type in 52, 123, take away 50,270. So he is going to be paying 40% on £1,730. Okay, so to find 40% of that, I'm going to use my decimal equivalent percentage multiplier method. And so 40% as a decimal is 0.4. So I know if I multiply this by 0.4, I will get 40% of this amount. So 692. So I'm just going to write that behind me here. And we're going to do our final calculation at the end. So 692 is the amount of tax he'll have to pay on the money that he earns above £50,270. Now let's look at how much he has to pay 20% on. So he has to pay 20% on this 50,270 because he hasn't paid any tax on this yet. But he doesn't have to pay tax on all of this 50,270 because of his tax-free allowance. So what we now need to do to work out the amount that we pay 20% on, we do our 50,270, take away the tax-free allowance, which is 12,570, and then this amount that's left is what he'll have to pay 20% on. 50,270, take away 12,570, leaves us with 37,700. And now what we need is we need 20% of that. So remember, if I want 20%, I do 20% divide 100 equals 0.2. And now anything I multiply by 0.2 will give me 20% of that amount. So I can then do on the calculator 37,700 times 0.2, and that equals 7,540. So let me just move out of the way here and put that down there. So the tax that we pay will be these two things added together. 7,540 add our 692. And here we go. The amount of tax that Jack pays will be £8,232. If you need more work on calculating with tax, make sure you visit tutorial 35 at crackmaths.co.uk.